Hi guys, in today's tutorial we will learn how to create light beams, those volumetric lights that you saw on the concerts or maybe on the stadiums, and you can use this approach in creating the lasers, the laser effects, for instance. All that we will do in Fusion, in compositing, and let's jump into it. Okay, so here I am in Fusion and my footage is loaded already, 166 frames. And I would place some light beams in the corners of that stadium, so they will shoot upwards. So first, of course, we have to track this footage, and I'm typing camera tracking, camera tracker node, sorry. So you plug it, you enable preview, and check that in the viewport, of course, bidirectional tracking. And let's make the point cloud a bit more dense, so 0.5. That's fine. So let's auto track it. Auto tracking is done, and let's go to solve tab and solve this. Okay, tracking is done, and my error average point is 0.3 pixels. That's all right. That's a good result. And now I'm exporting my 3D scene. So now let's check in the viewport what we got. And immediately I wanna rotate my 3D scene to have this tracking result, that point cloud to be horizontal. So I'm creating a 3D transform node, VXF shortcut, put it after the merge node. Transform, and I can check this in the left view. So transform node, rotate, check in the viewport. That should be alright. And I don't need the ground plane. I can delete it. Point cloud here. Okay. So let's check in the perspective view. So we're done with the tracking, and let's now create a cone object. So I'm calling a shape node. By default, this is a plane, but I want to change that to cone shape because my light beam will be a cone shape. What I want to do with this cone shape before plug it to the main scene, I want to have my pivot to be on the tip of this object, and I want it to be rotated 180 degrees, and I also wanted to have ability to not move when I change the height. So let me show you. If I change the height here, you see that it's changing from the middle of the object, of the bounding box. But I need this parameter to change from one of the sides, from this side. And you can do that here by linking the parameters between each other. So let's first fix the height problem. If I create another transform node and plug my object into it, check in the viewport, I can link some parameters between these two nodes, and for doing that I'm selecting shape node and pin it here, so when I select the other node it still be here visible. And this one, transform 3D2, is this node, and shape is this one. So I hide unnecessary tabs just to see everything better. From my shape node, I need to see the height parameter. From my transform node, I want to see the y-axis, the vertical axis. So what I need to do now is to click on the Y channel here, right click button, right mouse button, and pick the expression. In this field, you can type expressions or connect the parameters between each other with this plus sign. So I select it and drag it. So you hold the left mouse button and drag, and you can point to the parameter you want to link to. In my case, it's going to be a height. And if you expand the window, you will see this automatically created for you. So this is the name of this height channel. In actually, the 0 shouldn't be here. So shape 3D1. This is the name of the node. Dot surface cone inputs. Surface cone inputs are these. This is the group of the parameters that belonging to the surface surface cone inputs, and the channel is height. As you can see, if I change the height here in the shape node, the same value comes automatically into the translation. This is good, but I want this cone to be to stay in one place because now it's shifting. That's easy to fix if you just put here in this expression divide by 2. And as you can see, it's fixed. So it always dividing this value by 2, so 2 is offsetted and it's fine. So the next step would be to fix the position of the pivot because I want it to be on the tip of the cone. I need it because if I want to rotate or animate my object, it will always start the rotation from the middle of the shape. That's not gonna work for me. So I'm going to the pivot tab here and just do the same what I did there. I can just enable the expression and I can copy this expression from here into there, paste it, and the pivot is moved. Now the rotation works exactly the way I want. The only thing that it's rotated now downwards, so I want just to in the shape itself, in the transform, rotate it 180 degrees, but by x axis. Yeah, but now we have a problem that we need to move this pivot again. Easy to fix. We just put the negative value here, so it's -2, and it's done. Yep. Moving forward, let's plug our geometry into the main scene. For that, I'm going to create another merge node, 3mg. Plug it after transform node and put my cone into it. That's okay. Let's see it through the camera view. Yeah. Now the setup is working. I just need to place my light beam cone into the right place, and for that I'm using the point cloud because it's very convenient to create helper objects in some points which are representing the stadium. So in the merge 3D one, I go to the camera view and select the 4 points that are more or less closer to place where I wanna put my cone object. So I select 4 of them, and here in this menu you can create the helpers. Hit that button and it's created. It created 5, so probably one is intersecting. Maybe this one, yeah, that one. Yeah, this all these 4 helper objects are plugged into Merge 3D, which is all right, but it goes to the point cloud, which I don't really like it, so I just unplug it and plug it to this merge directly. And the point cloud I can simply disable. Oh yeah, and I can unpin the previously pinned node to have my inspector clear. So having these helper objects, going back to my merge 3D node, through the perspective view, I'm putting my cone in the proper position. Yeah, but what I need to be careful about is that I don't want to change the translation in the object itself. So these 2 nodes are creating this source object, and I don't want to change the origin of it. I can even lock it down to accidentally not change the position or any other parameters. So I can lock both of them, and I'll just create another transform node. And this transform node will serve me as a positioner in the scene, like so. Let's disable temporarily these helpers. All right, position nicely. Let's develop the look of this light beam. We need to apply the texture or material into it. So let's create a transform node. Background node, and the shortcut is X for the background node. So I plug it into my shape, and this background will have a gradient type. The gradient should be vertical. How to fix this? You can select, it has 2 points, start and end. So start is selected, start X position. So by X it will be the middle of the frame, which is 0.5 value, and the Y by Y-axis it's gonna be a 0. Same for the end. End by X is 0.5, and the end by Y is 1. Let's check the object. Now it's working correctly, the shader. Checking the viewport, the rendering. Yeah. Having this setup, I cannot change the blending mode of my render because it's already sort of baked into the background. But I don't want that, so I'm unplugging my footage from the camera, having my alpha now is visible, and creating just a merge node. Footage will go to the background yellow input, and the camera tracking result render will go to the foreground. So we will get the same image we got before, but now in the merge node I can change the apply mode to hypotenuse. In my opinion, it works better than screen, at least in this case. That's good progress. Now we have to change the shape of the cone because it's not that wide at the top and it's locked. So I unlock it, and in the controls, top radius, in our case it's rotated 180 degrees, so that's going to be a bottom. I will expand it a bit, and top radius will be shrinked like this. That's alright. We can apply any color we want, so I go back to my background node, select this flag or helper, and change any color I want. The color can be even animated. Having this light beam prepared, I want to introduce some animation into it before copying everywhere. So in the transform node, I'm unlocking it. I have my rotation channels untouched yet, so I can easily now use them to rotate as I wish this object. But I don't want to do that manually. I have some specific animation prepared already. So if you hit X, for example, X, right mouse button, and in the modify with menu, pick the shape animation, it will add some shake animation into it by on the X axis now. So here you can see. If you want to change this parameter, you go to modifiers. So previously it's not available, but when you apply some prepared types of animations, you will have this modifiers panel available, and here you can set up the settings of it. So let's increase the minimum and maximum of the values of the rotation. That's, for example, -20 and 20. And maybe it can be softer. Let's say that's what I want. Let's get back to the result and see how it looks. We can reseed this value. So go back to modifiers, reseed, and have different style of the movement. Maybe softness is too high. We can, yeah, I forgot that we are animating just the x-axis. So we can do the same for the z-axis. We're not touching y because actually we can apply for all. Yeah, why not? So modify with shake and modify with shake. go back to modify panel, and here you can see all three channels are existing now in this menu. So here we had smoothness 13 minus 2020. Let's do the same everywhere. 13 minus 2020. Alright, now we can duplicate this animated geometry into other three places, and we can do that by just copying this transform 3D and keeping the rest of the chain without changes. So plug it here, plug to the merge. Now what we just need to do is to move this to the proper position, the newly created object. But before that, let's enable our helpers to see the viewport. So I move my duplicated light source, and one more time. And fourth copy. Yeah, they all move now in the same choreography. Let me just disable these. We can randomize the movement because now it's synchronized because we copied everything. We can randomize it by just in the transform node changing the rotation. Rotate this one like that, one like this. We can rotate even by z-axis if we want. If you wanna have totally random effect per each light, you have to copy. You have to copy transform this one as well. So this will remain without changing anything, but the others will go like this. Yeah, but I keep like that. It is okay for me. Now let's check in the render. Just to save our time, let's move forward. So what I think is left here to make it a bit more realistic. Of course, we need to mask this out, but I don't want to spend time on this. I want to introduce some noise into the beams, into the beam light. So let's create a noise, fast noise node, plug it into the blue input in the merge node, and increase some contrast and reduce the scale. And maybe contrast can stay by default. Increase some details. Let's increase the scale a bit more, and it's slightly better now, but it's too perfect the edge of each beam. I think it makes sense to blur it a bit So I'm using blur node right here, not too much, but slightly. And we can adjust the blending as well, so it's not that prominent. Also because we don't see that much haze in the air, so it will not be very prominent in this situation. So thank you. I hope this was useful. You can use this approach when you don't have time to properly simulate volumetric light, the clouds, so that can help in your everyday tasks. And see you in the next one.